Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Old School versus New School. What's going on, Alex?
I've been here, E. Where you been? You been hiding from your boy. What's going on with you?
That'd be you running the streets.
That's me. I'm
Yeah.
a I'm gonna bring everybody back in with a song since we missed y'all.
Oh God.
How would I be sure that this is love beyond compare? Could all this be true if I didn't care for you? See now? You didn't think I could hit that, did you? You didn't think? That's how what you got to disclaim up
I wanna apologize to all the viewers. I wanna apologize to everyone watching. No, I'm just playing.
there?
Um, hey Auntie.
Hey,
Hey
hey.
Sharonda. How you doing, girl? Hope you had a wonderful Monday. Hey Ben, what's going on? And to all the people in the clouds, these clouds over here. We
Start
have a
this week off
treat for
right.
y'all, huh?
Start this week off right. What kind of treat we
Yeah,
got, E? What we got?
we have a treat for y'all. We have somebody in the building that I know. Some of y'all know who she is. Okay. Y'all already know how I feel over here in the galaxy about support. Okay. I drill it into y'all every episode of every show that I do over here. We got to start supporting us. It makes no sense why every other demographic in the world, yeah, the world, fuck it, the galaxy, they support each other. Even if they don't like each other, they come together, they make money together to keep you from getting the money. We, as Black people, people of color, melanated people, we got to support each other. It makes no sense why we don't.
I
I'm not
think we're
saying
doing.
everybody don't, but
I think we're doing better, E. It just it's
well, I'm
slow.
here.
It's so slow that we don't see it right now. But I think we're doing better. It's just slow going.
Well, we definitely putting our work in over here at the Galaxy. So,
That's a fact. That's a fact.
so
Hmm.
without further ado, I feel like we should just bring her on up. What you think?
Yeah, bring her on up. Who we got here?
We got dun, 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 God's girl.
Hey,
What's going on? I'm so happy to have you here today.
I can hear you guys twice. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's like an echo.
Do you
Yeah,
have another window open?
no,
Yeah, check see if you got another window open. You might
yeah.
said that.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
that
try.
yeah that has happened in the past. I've had
Hey,
windows
Miss
open,
D. So
multiple
while we are
windows.
waiting for the technical difficulties, okay.
Mm.
Make sure you guys are subscribed to my girl Goddess D of Love over there in the
No.
Love Palace, okay?
Um,
Goddess of love. Okay, you still hearing it, God's girl?
Let me look. I'm. Oh, I see. I see
Oh,
it.
you
Okay.
figured it out.
Yeah, I'm finna check it. I'm finna.
Okay. Yeah, can't have no feedback. Yeah, she said she see it up there.
Okay, there it is. There we go.
Sound much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed my song in the early going. Did you hear my song,
No, I
God's
heard
girl?
the song. I just heard it twice.
You heard? See, you were one of the lucky ones. You heard it twice, right? E. We're gonna tell our audience a little bit about yourself, God's girl.
Well, wait a
Those that
minute,
are
wait.
what?
Look, so if y'all seen the title, because we got to get the formalities in, right?
Okay.
Y'all saw the title, y'all saw a Black author. Okay. So God's Girl World is here because she has a book out and even more. A book and more. Oh, I like saying that. A book and more. Okay. She got a lot of things that we about to get into. And we'll get into the purchasing of that and everything like that later on. But her links and everything, all her information is in the description. Okay, y'all know how I do with the description. So all her information is there. So she's here to discuss her book, and I'm excited because I support the authors. Anybody that writes, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her
Okay.
book and her life. you know, in general. And the idea is you guys go out there and buy the book. So we don't want to tell you everything in the book because we
Hey, just my
we need to
five.
save some stuff for y'all to read. So y'all go out there and buy the book. The book is called Uncovered Me. Is that right, God's girl?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
everything's in the description. So you guys go on and click on that. But let's first see this interview and see what God's girl got going on here.
yeah. Y'all make
Yeah.
sure y'all subscribe to my girl, just my five. Okay. So I'm gonna start with the title, right? What made you title it Uncovered Me?
Because I was uncovering me, uncovering my life,
Like,
uncovering.
period.
It's kind of a metaphorical title because I felt like I was, unveiling myself, telling my truth and uncovering myself for everything that I went through.
Mhm. Was that difficult for you?
Yeah, it took me like 11 years to write it. It wasn't something I just did overnight. Everybody just kept telling me, I kept getting prophesied to, you need to write that book, you need to write that book. And, it took me a minute because when you write and you write uh, from your nakedness, you go through everything that you write about
Mm.
You relive
and
it,
you gotta relive it, so I have to sometimes start writing, I'll just go and go. And then sometimes I just have to put it down for a
Mm.
minute and get back up. And, this project that I did for one of my girlfriends, um, I had took a piece out of what I had already wrote and put it into her project. She did an anthology with 13 women, well, 14 women. I make it 14. And she was like, one of the girls dropped out, and she was like, Stephanie, I need you to come on through. I need you to come on through. So I just took some pieces and I wrote, and I submitted it, and it was called From Bondage to Beauty. The book is called Stories of Transformation, where all these women are telling their stories. And, my story really hit a lot of people because the way I write, you kind of be walking, you in it with me when you read it, you live in it, and,
Let me ask you this, God's girl.
mhm.
Before you decided to become an author, before the writing bug hit you and people was pushing you to write this stuff down, what was your life like before? What was your profession before you even got into this writing and becoming a professional author?
Okay, I did the corporate world, a lot of parts of my life, and a lot of customer service. I went from that to, because I had a son that was challenging, to opening my own daycare. So I had my daycare for like 5 years, and that's when I started writing the
Mm.
book.
Oh, okay, okay. So is the daycare still currently running, or that's you don't have it
Oh no,
anymore?
no, no.
Okay,
That's
okay.
another piece of my life you can read about. I don't even want to talk about him.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay,
I
all
let somebody
right,
come in and interrupt my life. Period. And he's
right.
definitely in the book.
Well, what was the defining factor to make you decide to write this book? Because a lot of people contemplate writing for years. Oh, I want to do my life story, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, and they get down and write one page and never go back to it. So, what was the defining factor and driving force to get you to and through the book?
Okay. When I did that anthology, like I said, I took portions of what I had already written, and when people read it, they was like, I had old ladies inbox me on Facebook because my platform was always Facebook. Um, hitting me up. I never told anybody about this, but I don't know why I'm telling you. And I just got so many men, women, thousands, people was like, you help me. You help me confront some of my stuff because I'm so honest about my stuff. Um, and so that after I saw that, and I said, well, it's helping people. I gotta get down deep in there and go on and finish this book because they were like, we want more. I know it's so much more than what you wrote on this little chapter from Bondage to Beauty.
Wouldn't
So
wouldn't it be a wonderful
that's what.
thing if wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if all those thousands of people translated into sales for this book? Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah, but like I told you, I have to definitely speak this that the book is not on the shelves anymore because
Mhm.
of the company that I that published it. They're in prison for embezzlement and not giving us our royalties, and it's a lot of authors that got screwed up from this ordering books, thousands of books, and not getting them sent to them. They were just pocketing that money, and they're in prison now. It's called Tape
Wow.
Publishing. You can look it up. So
T
that
A T
has,
E T A
huh?
T E T
Yeah,
A T E.
TATE,
Okay. Okay.
Tape Publishing.
You know
Um,
what's funny is I feel like you should take that as motivation that you're doing something right. You know what I mean? I feel like
mhm,
when you move in the right direction, it's always like a roadblock or a brick wall that you have
yeah,
to get to see if
yeah,
you're gonna keep going.
yeah,
Because if you wrote a book about fucking and fighting and like something
mhm,
salacious, that book would be gone, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
off the charts. But because you decided to do something positive with your life and use it to help other people, here go these people embezzling, and you know what I'm saying,
mhm.
it's like you're tested to keep going when you're doing something positive. So I commend you for continuing on with the just putting out the book, because you can still get the book, y'all. Her information is in the description, but we'll get to that. But you definitely can get it, right?
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Okay. And and
And
and
oh,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. You go ahead. You go ahead.
To hear you say that, I truly believe that there's a purpose for what it ended up being because I had so many different attacks.
Mm-hmm.
To I lost one child when the book was coming out to hit the stores. I lost another child. You know what I'm saying? And all those things made me think I'm scared to write because after it seemed like the more I give, the more gets taken from me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so that was another. Those were because my kids were. What happened to them happened 5 years apart.
Just my
And
five said, will you get in trouble if you went with another publishing company?
we don't get there. We're gonna get there.
All
Mhm.
right.
If
You
something
gotta stay
greater is
woke. You
happening,
gotta stay with us so you can get all the nitty gritty, okay?
something greater is happening. Just another book, you know.
Mhm.
When
Hey,
y'all ready
Don
to go,
Flags.
we'll go there.
Yeah. You mentioned God's girl. You mentioned
Thank
that,
you, Don Flags.
you had two children who are no longer with us.
Yeah,
And I know, burying children is out of order. Our children
Yeah,
should be burying us.
yeah.
So I know that's a very, very difficult thing, and it's probably difficult to talk about. But if you could give us a little bit of information exactly, kind of what was surrounding those scenarios where you lost your children.
My first book, when I did that anthology that I told you about, actually the day when I told you that Tommy Ford and them did the monologue, we had Terry McMillan as our keynote speaker for the event. I lost my son then. And so I wasn't even gonna go to the book release because I was like, how can I do this? And everybody was like, your son was prophesied. And he was like, my mama, they're gonna make movies about my mama. You know what I'm saying? He was just prophesying all of this. He was trying to get to the event and whoever was supposed to pick him up didn't didn't show up. So he called me. He was like, Mom, I can't get there, Mina, because he just had a baby. And he was like, I can't get there. And the reason why this is affecting me right now is because of what's going on right now. The things that he prophesied to me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
take your time. Take your
And
time.
so on Mother's Day, which was like a few days later after that event, um, he called me and he was like, Mom, it was Mother's Day. That's the last time I spoke with him. And he said, I was trying to get there, Mom, but as soon as I get this car, Mom, you're going to be proud of me because I got my first job. He was turning his life around. He's like, I got this baby now and I got to get it together. And I want you to be proud of me. And I said, son, I'm proud of you. I'm real proud of you. He was going to school. and he had just bought his first legal car. And so he was getting his car, worked on, and on Mother's Day is when I think it was the day after Mother's Day, or it was either Mother's Day or the day after Mother's Day. But I know Mother's Day was the last time I talked to him. I think it was a few days after Mother's Day, because Mother's Day was on the 8th, I think, but he was killed on the 13th. And he called me. He said, "As soon as I get myself to get this car together, Mom will come to you, and I'm gonna bring the baby so you can see the baby." And so I was like, "Okay, I love you, I love you." And that was the last time I spoke with him. And let's see, on the 13th, I had got a phone call, and my phone kept ringing, and they was like, "And see, my son was a little." He was a little, he wasn't no joke. He was calling me, and I was like, "I'm not finna answer that. He just want me to come beat somebody up." Because that was my old self who used to fight. And he know how I used to go. And so he wanted me to beat up his baby mama.
Oh my.
So he kept calling my phone, and I was on the phone with one of the artists. I was like, "I'm not answering that. That's that boy trying to get me to come over there and beat his baby mama up, his baby mama's mama." And so I didn't answer the phone, and he kept calling. He was just calling. And then finally I said, "Girl, I'm getting nervous. Let me answer the phone." So I answered it, and all I could hear was, "He gone, he gone." And she was screaming. And I was like, "What is you talking about?" And I hit the floor before I even knew what happened. I hit the floor, and I was just like, "Whoa," you know what I'm saying? And so I'm telling my ex at that time, and my older son, I said, "Let's go. I don't know what's going on with Jahan, but let's go. Let's get in the car and go to Richmond." So got in the car, and on our way there, I called her back, and I said, "What's going on, Tina?" She said, "He didn't make it. He's dead." And I said, "What? Who? What happened?" "He's gone, Mom. He's gone." And I just had a fit in that car. You know what I'm saying? And so we went down there, and I had refused to go to the crime scene because the area that her sister lived in, because he was over his baby mama's sister's house, and which is not a neighborhood that he frequents. It's the enemy territory. And so I said, "We're not going down there because I don't like that area over there anyway." So I said, "Let's go straight to let's go to the hospital." So we went to a few hospitals. Nobody he wasn't there. And so the police station in Contra Costa finally called me, and they said, "We need you to meet us up here." And I said, "What happened to my baby?" And they said, "We need you to meet up there so you can identify him." So I went up there. I mean, family from all his father's side of the family showed up. My family didn't show up. So and the reason my family didn't show up, because I just wrote that book. I just wrote that book, which put out a lot of the family secrets. Put out a lot of family secrets. So my family was really they called my son and told him to come over to their house. And he said, "My mama, I ain't leaving my mama. Y'all should be over here." You know what I'm saying? What the fuck wrong with y'all? So that was that or whatever. And so I had to
Any
identify him through a photo.
any arrest made in this case?
And
Any
no,
any
neither
no
one of my
arrest?
children. Neither one.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Hold on, wait. I want to give you an emotional break because I got a question.
mhm.
Because that's a lot. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine. And I want to say hey to everybody coming in. We talking to God's Girl World right now about her book, and her life, which is her life is the book is her life. You said that your family didn't come to the death of your son because you had put all these things out in the book. And we talk about that a lot over here,
Yeah.
dysfunctional silence,
Yeah.
that us as the people, our demographic, what happens in this house stays in this house,
Mhm. And that's how my family was.
and you have to pretend like everything is perfect when you hit the streets and you suffering, which is why we got a lot of traumatized grown children walking around. So that's big for you to put everything in that book and just be totally transparent, because a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, I was very transparent. And I felt like this when I wrote it. I said I'm freeing me, because did none of them care when they found out what happened to me? Did nobody do nothing? They took his side. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, years after my a few, 2 years after my son died, we had this, because I don't go around my family. I still don't. We was at a barbecue and I went over there, and he came up to me. The particular person came up to me and he said, I'm tired of feeling like a pervert. And I'm like, he like, but you wrote this book. I said, my book ain't about you. It's about me. Now, if you had something to do with what happened to me, that's your problem. And my aunties heard him say that. So all those years that they had heard about it, they didn't believe me. But they heard it come out of his mouth. He went and apologized to my older son about it. So
I was
that's
just
why.
talking about that with somebody. I really don't like that. Like, because when you do that, you're re-victimizing the victim. When you don't believe them, like that's, I don't like that at all. It take a lot of strength to do what you did.
Well, yeah,
Pisces,
see,
thanks for being a member for 9 months.
my grandfather was a pastor. And
Same,
so
man.
his family had to have a certain look. It was just
Hey,
all
soldier.
screwed up and
Gotta look
stupid.
picture perfect.
But that just exposed my family, because a lot of people's like, I can't wait to read your book.
Oh.
They couldn't wait to read that book.
Hold on, because that's the thing. That's the thing that I feel. And you tell me how you feel, right? Hey, Alex too. In the chat too. Y'all can chime in. We're a little deep today. I know. But feel free to chime in, chat. We talking like normal. We in the classroom, I feel like that drives people away from God a lot, because especially in that type of family, you're supposed to be the preacher, pastor, deacon, whatever it is, just a child of God, period. And I'm telling you what has happened to me. And instead of showing empathy, grace, compassion, forgiveness, you cut your family out because you don't want to acknowledge the fuckery that's been going on in your house. Like, that's how do that show somebody God? You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't. And it's a trip, because before they knew what went on with me, because I didn't tell my grandma until I was 18. And I was tired of going over the house, because I would always show up for my grandmother, because I ran away from home at 12. And they didn't know why I was, this basket case or whatever. But when I finally told my grandmother, my grandmother said, "Why are you telling me?" I said, "Because you're the reason why I never said nothing." And she said, "Well, next time he touch you, because he used to grab my titties, grab my ass, and just doing sneaky little stuff." But I was mean. I was very mean. So I would get up in a little corner with an attitude like, "Don't nobody say shit to me," because I don't, because I was mouthy. I had a, I was who I was at that age. And when they finally found out, didn't nobody do nothing.
Yeah, back then, the saying was, if you had an attitude problem, that equal you was fast.
Yeah.
But you never looked into why some of us had attitudes, or why some of us was on the defense all the time. You don't know what has happened to us. You ain't asked us that. You just equate me being a hard enclosed person to I'm fast. Like, that never made sense to me growing up. Did you ever hear that, Alex?
I heard it a lot, and our secrets make us sick. And a lot of families have these deep, dark secrets that nobody's supposed to talk about. Everybody know, but nobody's supposed to talk about it. It's like when you having a relationship at work with somebody that's married. Like, the whole job know, but nobody's supposed to know.
That part, that's the crazy part. What you just said.
Right.
And everybody be knowing what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't take accountability for what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy part.
Bananas. And I want to ask you this, God's girl, because you mentioned your family has been in the church, and we all know these churches are a hot mess. Nicole got a heavy
Now this.
Nicole got a heavy church background. She's a
Oh, I
preacher's
thought you
kid.
wanted me to insert something right there.
No, she's a preacher's kid, got a heavy church background. So what I want to ask you is, how has this affected your faith? Because a lot of times people that go through stuff like this, they get mad at God, they don't believe anymore, they cuss him, they do all kind of things, they just don't believe anymore. Because like if you're a loving, caring God, how you allow this to happen to me? So how has this affected your faith, if at all?
What it did to me at that at that age was, because my grandpa, I was a little younger. I wasn't 18 when this stuff happened. I was 5, and it happened from 5 to 12. I started running away. Came home one time. My grandmother took me to the therapy, and I met girls like me, and they were wanting to tell their truth, And I told them, I said, I don't want to be no church girl. So I did not. I rebelled against my grandfather's church, period. And so I rebelled for years. I hit the streets. I ran into girls like me who was being abused or whatever, fast, whatever they want to call us. And I did that. But it got to the point where I just never came home. I would come over there for my grandmother's um, for her, Easter, Christmas sometimes, and I started having kids early. I had my first son at 15. And so that's pretty much.
So for a while it affected your faith, I'm assuming.
I just didn't like them people because that
Okay.
was my grandfather, because he'd sit in the pulpit and say, you look around the church and see God. And I said, I can't look around you because you ain't my church. You my grandfather.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. So that's the way I looked at him. And the man that caused me to believe was the man that actually came into my life. He was like a dad. He was my bishop for I got off drugs at his ministry, because I was on drugs young. And I got off the drugs
Can
at
we
his
can we talk
ministry.
about that a little bit?
Huh?
Can we talk about that a little bit
Yeah.
more?
Uh-huh.
So, okay, so you mentioned that your grandfather was pastor, right?
Yeah.
So was that your dad's
My
father?
mother's father. I didn't know who my father was.
Okay. So, um, with the relationship with your mom, did she ever say like what her relationship with her dad was?
Her dad was from Texas. The pastor that I always thought was my grandfather was was the pastor. I didn't know who that my mom had different, because it was 7 kids. My mother was the oldest girl, and then they had the oldest boy, and her and my auntie right next to her, they had the same dad, and everybody, and the oldest one had his own dad, and then the other kids had the pastor. So my mother had a brain aneurysm, and when she had the brain tumor, whatever, went in the hospital, whatever, came out, she started using drugs and started leaving us, started abandoning me and my sister and my brother. And so I started running away. And everybody was like, why Dale can't come? And, so I ran away. I don't want to, this is too much because this is a lot that happened. I mean, I
Yeah.
tried to commit suicide, and I was in a crazy house, whatever. My mom came and got me and took me to the Bay Area with her because I was in San Francisco. She took me over to the Bay Area with her. And my mother at that time was turning tricks and getting hotels. Me and my brother be in a car while she turning tricks so we can go in there, and she pay for the room at night. And I got tired of her. I got tired of that. I got tired of her and her tricks and all of that stuff. So I ran away from her. And then I was on my own ever since.
You know, these things many times unfortunately are generational. We call them generational
That's
curses,
why.
right?
That's where I was trying to go. Yeah.
Yeah, generational curses, because what happens with one generation follows into the next, until somebody in one generation puts a stop to the bullshit.
Hmm.
Um, you seem to be that person
Yeah,
in this
I
generation,
definitely
right?
am.
So
Um,
the so I want to ask you, because you said your mom was turning tricks and doing these different kind of things. As brief as you can,
mhm.
what do you know about your mother's history and what possibly made her into this kind of person?
Yeah, that's where I'm going
I
with.
believe she was the oldest girl. She took care of all the younger kids, so she didn't get to really like the guy she had my sister, and then the guy that she was supposed to be my father. I was told that she was raped by him. So she was, those were the preacher's kids and all of that. So they tried to think they were living a certain life, but some of them might have been loose. I don't know. I don't really know because I wasn't there.
Right.
I just know that my mother was the oldest and she took care of all the kids. And they
Hmm.
felt like when she busted and had the brain aneurysm, she lost who she was and she got her freedom through drugs. She did
Hmm.
drugs for years.
Mm.
And then when I got out there with her to the Bay Area, I started doing them with her and
Wow.
you know
What was
picking
the
up her
drug of
speed.
choice? What was the drug of choice?
Crack.
It was crack. Okay.
Yeah.
And what years was this? Because there were certain times when the crack era was real
It was in
hot
the 80s.
in the 80s.
It
Yep, there
was
you
in the
go.
80s. And in the
Yeah.
beginning 80s for me because I had my son in 85. So it had to be
Hmm.
like 82,
Hmm.
83 because I was I was a minor, when I
Right.
started. And then I would see
Wait a
her.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Wait. You was a minor when you and your mom was doing that together.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
That's why I know it wasn't that I was a drug addict. It was my bond with her that okay, she likes me now. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And then when she went on one of her little binges or whatever, and she's like, "I'm gonna go do what I gotta do to get it," and I was like, "No, you ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna do it for you." And
So
then,
that's where I was trying to go. So let me ask you this. So she had her brain aneurysm, right?
mhm,
Before the brain aneurysm, how was y'all relationship?
it wasn't. You know,
So that's what I'm
she,
trying to get. Like,
she
why did
had to deal with me because I was her child, and but there was never like a bond, like the love that she had for my sister, the love she had for my little brother. It wasn't that with me, and I was always chasing. It don't matter if it was negative attention, positive attention. I was that middle. You know how that middle child is,
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. I'm
but
a
more
I'm a
that
middle
middle
child.
mama's love.
Yeah. I'm a middle child. You get that middle child syndrome. You're not the youngest. You're not the oldest. You don't
Hmm.
quite know where you fit
Yeah.
most of the time. So, with the drug of choice being crack at that time, leading up to today, does your family still play this church thing, or that's kind
Well,
of decimated? Has it been
my
decimated, or you guys are still,
my
you know?
grand I don't deal with anybody. I mean, once everything when my grandmother died, I was free because I didn't have to go over there no more. And
Mm,
then when I lost my son, it showed me who they really were because I wrote my story.
mm,
And I don't know if it's embarrassing, the embarrassment. Like I said, a whole lot of people was waiting for that my book to come out. They was like, I want to, these were some church people, 'cause
mm,
they want to hear my family secrets.
mm,
'Cause
but that's what I was
yeah,
gonna say. Kind of like
yeah,
what Alex said. People already be knowing what's going on. So it's
mm,
like, I don't know. I feel like that makes it even worse. You know what I'm saying?
it does,
You
it
can
does.
come out and own, you know what you did. You was there.
Mhm, mhm.
So why not own it? Because everybody know what's going on. So it's like it kind of make you look even worse, especially standing up there preaching and stuff like that. Like it's just like they've made spirituality and religion a game,
Yeah,
just a joke,
yeah.
yeah.
a business.
And like you saying right there, I had a play aunt that we grew up with, and she said I seen her get on. I mean, I got on the BART one day, and she was like, "Hey, hey, beautiful," and And it didn't make him no good that I was a pretty baby. I was my grandmother's pretty baby. You know what I'm saying? Because my dad is Puerto Rican, Irish. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little mixed up, a little, a little whatever. But it didn't. She came to me. She said, "Stephanie, I read your book," and she said, "And oh my God, I tried to ask them people what was wrong with you." She said, "I knew something was wrong with you back then when you was a little kid, when you was a little girl." You know, she used to live in, my grandmother had this house, and then they had a sugar shack in the back, which was a extension house back there, and they lived there. Her and her husband lived back there. And she said, "I knew something was wrong with you," and I just didn't know. Oh my God, you know, that's the truth. Because I cried. I was like, somebody knew what was going on, but my mother, like when my uncle used to do what he did, and it was always for candy. You know, I couldn't go with them, all the other cousins and sister and them to the store and get no candy if I didn't let him do that to me. And so that I believe that put that whole mentality in my head that you got to break me off.
Right.
Period. You know what I'm saying? That put that person in my head. You know, at a young age, that somebody had to give me something for me to do whatever I was to do. It put that that mentality in my head.
Well,
And
you know, ain't no hold on, ain't no excuse for none of the things that they've done. Unless they were sick already from maybe something happening to them or things that they witnessed. But in doing this to you, was there ever an excuse on their part? Were they drunk? Were they high? They cried mental illness. I mean, any of these kind of things ever come up?
no, what came up was that he was young because he was like 5 years older than me. My uncle,
mm,
he's like 5 years older than me, and he said he was young and stupid. That's what his excuse was.
mm, okay. Not acceptable, but I just
No.
want to know what kind of excuses people use because there's always all kind of excuses that go on with this kind of behavior because no one wants accountability, and that's the problem. I mean, a terrible wrong has been done, right? But it goes a long way when someone comes up to you and says, "I know what I did. I'm very sorry for it. I was sick. I didn't know what I was doing." I mean, you may not accept it, but
Hmm.
it goes a long way when a person accepts responsibility for things that they've done. But if they never accept it or never admit to it, how can you ever heal? How can his family ever heal? How can anybody ever
I
heal?
I think because everybody pretty much their actions were taking his side, um, which I forgave him way back then. But I just knew that I had the opportunity and the choice to make to not come around them anymore. And that's what I did. Since you guys got him, I'm not going to come over there and feel uncomfortable. So
Hey,
I'll stay away, you
Mm,
know.
yeah. Let me fast forward a little bit.
hold on, wait. I have
Okay.
something to say.
All right.
Um, when you said the lady from your church, your play aunt, she said she knew something was wrong. That's why I emphasized over here so much about action.
Hmm.
Like, it's so many people that come back and say, "Oh, well, I knew this or I thought this." Where is the action people at? Where is the
Mm,
people that's doing something? Like, it's so many people that talk about stuff. It's so many people that want to pretend like they are privy to things after the fact. Like, but where is the people that's coming to help? Where is the people that's coming to save? You know what I'm saying? Because who's to say what impact on your life it could have been if she would have stood on what she thought? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Where is the people that's action? Everybody always talking about how about it they are and how they stand on business and all it. I don't really see that too much. I
yeah,
don't like
they're a real one and all this nonsense. You ain't no
yeah,
real
I don't
one.
like that. But
There's one
then
less of
people
those
that
people
do
than
stand up, we get the backlash. It's like,
yeah.
which one is it gonna be? So I really I hope that she was being honest and not just talking your head off. But then it's like, why didn't you do something? Because I'd rather not even knew that you thought anything because you
Yeah,
didn't do nothing.
Right.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
the same thing like people ask my mother because my mother told people because I used to go in the bathroom and give myself treatments, bang
Mm,
my head on the wall, punch myself in the nose, and chant, "I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you." I just look in the mirror and say, "I hate you." I hated myself. I
mm,
blamed me for what he was doing.
Pretty much.
mm,
So
mm.
For the people that's coming in, we are talking to God's Girl World, okay? Author in this piece. We talking about her book and some of the things that are in the book. It's very heavy stuff, y'all, but I feel like it's dope because more people need to be doing this. More people need to be honest with themselves, and only in being honest with yourself can you truly elevate. Can you truly be free? You know what I'm saying? People think money, sex, possessions, cars, clothes, whatever, bundles, asses. You know, Alex, you just was talking about the BBL. Like all of these things you think you can attain because y'all running away from y'all truth.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's never gonna happen until y'all tell the truth. So, hey, I commend you. I'm gonna keep saying it till we done.
Yeah, family. The book is called Uncovered Me.
Losing to
The
win.
contact links are in the description. Nicole always does that
Yeah.
because she's heavy in, of course, supporting our people and everything that we do. So you're looking at the description. You'll order that book. The information's there. I'm gonna move forward a little bit because
Good, because we can stay there for a long time.
yeah.
And there's so much more to this.
And this may also be heavy because, but I do want to get to it briefly, if you can, as
Okay.
briefly as you can. You lost your son. That was your oldest son, right?
No, that was the middle son.
That was the middle son.
Yeah.
Okay. Then some time later, you also lost a daughter,
Yeah.
right? What were the circumstances surrounding her death, and what got you through that?
That was a complete. I didn't see that coming from nowhere because my baby, she was, she had made the change of uh herself. She liked to start liking girls, and she, transformed herself into a boy. And
Mm,
I had a rough time with that, but that was my baby. Um, and so when that was a complete surprise to me, but because we were working on, because I was doing a white party for my book release, all white party, and we was, she was excited, Mom, we finna do it, and here go the book thing again, and we losing the child.
right,
Mhm.
right.
So my book was to hit the stores April the 7th. And so we was getting ready. I'm trying to find out what I was gonna wear and all this and that. And she was fine. So her birthday was January the 31st, 2014. Okay, and then she got murdered 7 days. So her birthday was on a Saturday, and then the next Saturday is when she got killed.
Mm,
And so February the 7th is when she got murdered.
okay.
She was coming home from Cheesesteak Factory with her little girlfriend or whatever. And the girlfriend said, I gotta go use the bathroom. They had just got off the bar. They came down, and my daughter said, well, I gotta go across the street to the gas station and get some blunts, so they could smoke or whatever. And so the girl went home with the two kids, and my baby never made it back.
Mm,
She went into the gas station, got the blacks, and it was a freeway entrance. Getting off the freeway entrance, going on the freeway. It was at one of them little busy two gas stations on each side. She was at the gas station on this side, and they said she crossed the crosswalk, crossed the next crosswalk. While she was crossing the crosswalk, somebody came out that gas station and ran the light and hit her.
mm,
And they said, I don't know how true it is, but they said they got out the car. Somebody got out the car and looked, and got back in the car and hit her. And because I guess they hit her and she flew,
mm.
and then got back in the car and ran her over.
Any arrest in that case?
No, they have.
Wow.
We're at a busy stop sign at a busy intersection, and I don't understand how the cameras wasn't working. I
Mm,
was like, what's going on? If we would have ran that light, I bet you would have caught my car. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? So it's a McDonald's over here, and so somebody came to my door, and they called my daughter Pooh Rider, and they said, "Are you Britannia? Are you Pooh Rider's mother?" I said, "Yeah. Who are you?" And she said, "She got hit by a car." I said, "Bitch, what you say?
mm.
What the fuck you say?" He said, well, she's up there at the corner up there by McDonald's. And I was like, oh, Lord. So I'm just running around my house. I don't know what to do. I didn't have a car at that moment. So I called one of my neighbors and I was like, hey, I need you to go up to the corner and see if my baby is out there. They said my baby got hit by a car. So I'm getting dressed, trying to find me something to put on. And I got dressed and I'm going down because I'm going to walk up there. And so her son was running to come to get me. And he was like, here, Mom, come on, let's go. So I went up there, and as soon as we went this little shortcut way, and I see all the ambulance and the fire, the police lights and stuff, and I got around the corner, and I said, so the police and my neighbor ran over to me, so they trying to stop me from running over there to her, and I said, who is that? That's my baby, and the police said, well, we don't want you to go over there and look. I said, what is that my baby? And then my neighbor said, Stephanie, yes, it's her. And I said, okay, well, let me get over there to her. And so they wouldn't let me go over there. So I'm just hopping, leaping in the gas station. I'm like, Lord, what is this? What part of my ministry is this? What part of ministry is this? And I'm just, just shocked, and so I called my son, and he was filming a movie, and I don't know what I said to him, but I know he got there. All I know is somehow Facebook. I don't know. Somebody said I got on Facebook. I don't even remember what happened, but next thing you know, I mean, hella people came from They was coming from everywhere to the crime scene, and so my son pulled up, and I could see him, and I said, "Oh Lord." And so my daughter's my god my goddaughter's mother ran over there and she said, Omari, and he came out, he's like, cause he's a buff dude, my son pick up and he ripped his shirt wide open. The police, I said, don't you touch my son, because he was going crazy. He was going crazy. So he crossed the street and he said nobody would let us get to them. And
So
so
did you ever get to put your eyes on her?
I seen, because my daughter she had just dyed her dreads like a red burgundy kind of color. And so I saw her, but I didn't. But she was gone already. She was gone already because they said she said something. Um,
If you said somebody when she was struck, they said somebody got out the car, looked, got back in
yeah,
the car, and
they
drove
ran
away.
her over.
So what I find interesting,
Wait, they ran her over again?
No, they hit her. You hit
Oh,
somebody and they
yeah,
fly
go
yeah,
ahead.
because she was at the crosswalk, and so she
yeah,
flew like probably 15 feet or whatever, and
yeah.
then whoever it was got out the car. Some people in the mobile home. I don't know if they were scared, but nobody's never come forth, and the street cameras didn't catch nothing because they said they wasn't working. Because I was trying to sue that city. I
Yeah,
was trying
because
to go after that city.
I guess what I'm getting at is because typically if somebody hits someone like that and it's an accident, it's an accident. They can
Yeah.
stay there, wait for the police, explain what happened.
Oh,
It's an
but I'm not
accident.
finished yet. I'm not finished yet because I got a
Oh,
death
okay,
threat. I got a death
okay,
threat after
okay,
that. He ran a light and hit her.
okay.
Ran the red light. So I'm just like, who would do this? Who would do this to my baby? And then I think a day after it was on the news and everything. I think a day after the funeral, I got a text message and it said, I know who killed Pooh. And I said, who the hell is this? And that freaked me out. So my son them took my phone and they was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? Did somebody who did? And then I asked them, I still got the text message to this day. And my son said, who is this? And he said, shut up, bitch, because you can be next. And so that just
Mm.
made me flip all the way out.
Wow,
I was
wow.
scared. I didn't trust nobody. I was like, I don't know who I'm around, who would give somebody my cell phone like that. I mean, they did all kind of stuff. The white supremacists had did a page about me, calling me the black what did he call me, black gorilla mama or whatever. It was crazy. It was crazy.
I,
That's
I, I guess
Yeah.
the question I was trying. I guess the question I was trying to pose was Was this? Do you believe in any way this was done on purpose, or was this really an
I
accident?
do. I do. Like I said, the girlfriend had a newborn baby, and her and my daughter had been together for 3 years. So that tells you right there she was still messing with Dick and
Yeah.
my daughter at the same time.
Mm,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Because like a few weeks, my daughter came crying and she was like, I said, "Come, you get mama bed," and I said, "Leave the hoe alone. Leave her
Mm,
alone because she was doing something." And my daughter creeped out and went back over there, and she didn't want me to know. So that whole day, her brother was calling her saying, "I need you to cut my hair." She cut hair, and I would text her and I was like, "Get your ass over here, whatever. I don't know what you're doing," but she was sneaking off with that girl, and
mm.
that's that's the reality of it.
Because
Um,
Alice has said if it was an accident, they could have stayed. But even if you hit somebody and they passed away, you still gonna get charged with vehicular homicide.
yeah.
Mm.
The fact
So
that
Yeah.
they ran the light and see it was a mobile home across the street, McDonald's. What
easy.
it was a lot of stuff. The the McDonald's seen a person get off a motorcycle, and I guess
Mm.
he got off a motorcycle to look, but he wasn't the
Okay.
one that hit her.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Okay.
So,
Let me ask you this as we finish up with this because I don't want to put you through this any longer than we have to. It's crazy.
And you are getting
What-
virtual hugs and virtual prayers, and they sending
yeah.
thank
love
you
from the
guys.
chat. So
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Um, do you know if your daughter, prior to this incident, obviously, was she ever truly, truly happy as far as did she really, really accept her sexuality and was truly happy, or was she still struggling with it at the time of the incident?
No, she had it. She knew who she wanted to be. I thought it was a fad. It's a little going through this little thing, but some years have passed and she didn't budge. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? She went through. I mean, she had some pretty little girls, but I was just like,
Mm.
girl, that ain't what you're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I
Yeah.
didn't use religion because,
Right.
um, I just didn't see that for my baby because I knew she had got jumped before by some niggas mistaking her
Mm.
as another dude. A little.
Mm.
She was a little. She was like 4'11". She was a little bitty thing. When she was
Wow.
out there on the ground, people thought she was 15 years old and she was 25.
Mm.
She was 25 years old.
Mm.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she accepted. It was a point that I accepted. I have finally not accepted it, but I accepted her. And that's what I told her. I said, I don't get down. I don't believe in that. I
Mm.
said, but you are my child and you are my baby and I accept you.
Mm.
Can't nothing take that away,
Yeah.
because she used to try to force me. She get with these girls and tell her grandkids to call me grandma. I said, no, we ain't gonna do that. That didn't come out of you. Don't do
Mm.
that. Don't confuse these kids.
Did
well,
the
I want
girl?
to come use you again because I
Okay.
said I was gonna be doing it till I hit the button. But I like the fact that because we supposed to learn from our mistakes and learn from things that we don't like. And
Hmm.
I feel like with your family, with them finding out things that have happened to you and around you, and they shunned you for that. You know what I'm saying? But you, even though you didn't agree with her choices or whatever, you still accepted her and loved her. And
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do with your hurt and your pain. You're supposed to um change the outcome. You're not supposed to repeat the cycle like we
Hmm.
talked about earlier. So I'm here
My,
for it.
my godmother told me, she said, Stephanie, get in there with her. And so I
Mm.
started getting in there with her. I meet the girl and I turn her back to normal. But my daughter wasn't budging.
Yeah.
I get to read scriptures and I get to
Mm.
pray for them and stuff. And the girl's like, I don't want to do this. Because they always just tested. They was
Mm.
testing some stuff. And my
Yeah.
daughter's like, you keep running my girlfriend. So I enjoyed that part.
Let me ask you
My
this.
baby.
Let me ask you this regarding the girlfriend at the time. 'Cause you said she was still messing with Dick on the side. She had a newborn. Um, did she just disappear after this, or was there any indication that she may have known?
I feel like she knew.
Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like she knew.
Okay.
I feel
That's
like she knew.
crazy.
Yeah.
And
Okay, let's. Oh, go
and
ahead.
And she's not. She hasn't said anything. She just disappeared, fell off the map.
She didn't fall off the mat because we were living in the same complex.
Mm-hmm.
So she was living on one side and I was living on the other side. And I think she was still there when I moved, when I finally left the complex. My son stayed, but I moved out and went to a whole different county. So I just need to get away from there because when I get on the freeway, I gotta drive by that every day. I have to drive by the scene. So
I want to shift gears a little bit because we've been real heavy. So we know that you're here to talk about the book, but when you first got here, I said we're going to talk about the book and more. Are we able to talk about the and more?
Yes, but they can get the book because I don't want to read I don't want to tell them about the whole book.
Right, I'm about to say y'all want the rest. Listen, her IG link is in the description, and also her Cash App is in the description. So you can either message her and get the book that way, or you can Cash App and leave it in the message slide. I would suggest you go to IG and get the Cash App over there because the message is so short. You can't really say too much in the Cash App message. So both links are in the description. Hey, Mr. Himself.
No, what I was saying for them to do in that message part on Cash App is to put their email address, and then I will send it to them.
Okay. Yeah. So y'all heard what she said, right? Let me say it again. Put your email in the message on the Cash App, and that's how you will receive your book. So let's talk about the and more. So it's going from a book to what?
We're about to be on a big screen.
I think that's so dope, man.
We are gonna, the Tate Publishing failed me, but God restored me because I'm going through all that I'm going through right now, doing dialysis 3 times a week now, and dealing with everything that I'm dealing with, not being able to work and make money. This little money they give you ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. So let's see. A month ago, I had checked one of my other emails, and it had Stephanie. What was her name? Stephanie. Her name was like my name, but it was Amari. What was her name? What was Stephanie's name? Stephanie, the film director. Stephanie Ramsey. So it was an email by her, and saying that they looked at my book and it was chosen to be they were interested in turning my book into a movie.
That's dope.
Yeah. So that was the weekend, so I was like anxiety all weekend. Then on Monday morning they called me, and one of her representatives called me, and so he got to explaining everything, what's what. And so as the time went on, I had to do because we're ready to pitch it to Sony, Warner Brothers, Amazon, or Netflix, and not particularly know yet if I'm gonna do a series. But I told them, I said, I don't think a movie could capture my story. It's so many different parts to it. Because it's just a bunch of pain. It's just a bunch of pain.
I got a petty question.
And overcoming.
I got a petty question.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is petty. I'm just letting you know. Okay, yeah. So your family turned their back when you put the book out initially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's about to be on the big screen, so there's obviously gonna be characters that play your family and stuff like that, right? So, like, you think they're gonna come back around and try to?
They're gonna try because they're money hungry. Yeah, they're gonna try.
What's gonna be your reaction?
Listen. I was in the hospital 2002, dying, and not one came to see me when my kidneys collapsed. So we're gonna stay like that.
No reconciling or
it's nothing to reconcile. It is what it is. My grandmother taught me that love is an action word. It's not a word coming out your mouth. It's an action word.
That's fact.
So, like I have an auntie that never came to neither one of my children's funerals, and she's one of the ones that'll stick on you because if you got a dime in your pocket, so she can stay where she's at.
Yeah,
Period.
your family is beyond dysfunctional. You know, this is just
And you know what?
beyond.
My best friend was like at my daughter's funeral. Shit, they was like, "Don't let them people come by her," because because I had diabetes, and the metformin from the diabetes that I was taking is what collapsed my kidneys.
Mm,
And she my best friend was like, I don't trust them people, because any family that acts like her family act, because you can't lie about it. It was
mm,
obvious when they came to the funeral. Because with my daughter, I told them, I called and I said, God gave you an opportunity to do something different this time. I said, but you
mm,
motherfuckers did the same thing you did the first time. So don't even come to my baby's
Oh
fucking
wait.
funeral.
Oh, I was about to say. So
Don't even come. Because
you
they
make choice
came,
not to come to your daughter's funeral.
yeah, they came to my son's and they sat way in the back.
Mm.
mm, mm.
And
Like,
so the
what's the
same
point
thing
of that though? It's like I don't know. Not okay. My disclaimer: I'm not talking about all church people, y'all. So don't make it like I just hate church people. But I know what I've seen and what I've experienced, and I hear what you're saying, and I've heard numerous other people. Right? It's like, why be a spectacle in your fuckery? Like you already involved in fuckery, but you make it a spectacle. Like, why do that? Especially when you're grieving over your child. You know what I'm saying? Like that's weird to me.
But they said as soon as I cussed them out, my my sugar went down. Because
Mm,
I guess I was holding it in. I was holding, because I was trying to,
Oh
I was
wow,
like
yeah.
miraculously strong.
mm,
It didn't really, because you got to understand, when my son died, I was ministering to other women. I was helping them out. I didn't grieve. I
mm,
didn't get to grieve. I was speaking all over the place, speaking at the youth centers and all this stuff. I was doing all this stuff. And when my daughter, when it was over, I crashed.
mm, mm.
And
I
I
crashed.
think
Well,
that's what a lot of people don't realize, that when you go through these traumas, when you go through hurt, when you go through pain, rejection, whatever, like that affects your health. Like
Yeah, it
how
big
you're
time.
treated, how you treat other people, that affects your
Yeah.
body and your
does. I
health.
believe that
I don't
that's
feel like
why
people know that.
this is what's happening now. I mean, and
Mm,
I know that a lot of the diabetic stuff came from stress
mm,
and all that, but I've always been a very, very strong person, who've
mm.
endured so many things. And so I believe that a lot of my body, breaking down came from a lot of the things that I went through, you
Yeah, and
know.
I tell people all the time is like you deal with enough trauma and enough loss, and me in my own personal life, you never get over it. You learn to live with it.
You learn to live with it.
That
Yeah.
as simple as that. You know, everybody, oh, you'll heal, whatever, you'll get over it. You never get over it.
Yeah.
Particularly if it was a tragedy. You never get over it, you
Yeah.
know. So I guess Nicole mentioned a little while ago, she's gonna ask a petty question about your family. You need to know, God's girl, Nicole is the queen of petty, number one. Um
I'm okay with petty.
yeah, she's
I didn't.
affectionate.
I'm not claiming that.
Nicole is affectionately known as Petty LaBelle. Okay,
What?
so I just wanted you to know that.
When has this been
Okay.
established? I need to know. What?
And she even has the audacity to be a singer. So you know she's Petty LaBelle because she's a singer too. So
Hmm.
but I wanted to ask you, God's girl, and all these things coming through all of this stuff, and you're still going through and probably will always be going through with the book and the movie. What are you hoping to accomplish? What are you hoping the impact of your work is for not just your family or friends that are close to you, but other people that's going to read this and generations moving forward?
I feel like God used me for a muse because He knew that I would tell it, and I wouldn't be afraid to tell it. And I feel like more people can become free if they really, if they really look at the movie and see the purpose of the movie. Because I want it to make sense to people. Because I know they're gonna get in there and do their little stuff, their little cartwheels and stuff to the movie. I just don't mess mine up.
Mm,
But Yeah, I want to see people be healed. I want to see people be set free because these things that I have come through, I really need to be up under the bridge eating out the garbage can.
Mm. Right.
But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm.
still here. I'm still here. And
Yeah.
I'm still fighting. And to leave my grandchildren a legacy. I got
Mm.
3 grandboys, you know, and I got some step ones from my husband.
Mm.
So I really want to leave them a legacy that they can be proud of, my grandma.
You know what? That's what we always push here. Me and Nicole always push generational wealth, creating things for the grandkids, creating things for the children, things
Hmm.
that are tangible, things like manuscripts and books and property and things like that.
that
So
they
we can kind of that they own, and we
Hmm.
can will it to them or open up a trust for them and things
Hmm.
like that. So why do you think? Because it's very difficult when you have generational curses for generation after generation after generation. Usually, one person like yourself will come along in a specific generation and say, "This shit has to stop."
Yeah.
Okay, so if you really think about your life and the messages you was getting from the time you were a child up to now, why do you think, for lack of a better term, you were the chosen one?
Hmm.
I know it's a tough question because a
Well, you
lot
know
of
how the
people.
scripture says, God, all are called, few are chosen.
Mhm.
Um, I know I had to be because it started from the womb. You know, my rejection started from the womb. So, and I'm not afraid to lay my stuff out on the carpet, and even if it's embarrassing, you know, even if it's embarrassing, and that was my way to be free. And um, this lady told me a long time ago. She said, "Stephanie, you're gonna have people that support you and love you, but you're never gonna have a lot of friends because you're too free with your stuff, and everybody ain't ready to be free."
Mhm.
You know, I don't know if that answered that
that
question.
Mhm.
right there.
Mhm.
Did that answer
Mhm.
your question?
Yeah, it did actually. It did actually. Um, because somebody has, people always say, it's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it. And in this case, it was you. Somebody had to do it. Somebody got to stop the bleeding, more or less. And
Yeah,
I think in your case, because you were following the same footsteps. You were getting high with your mother. You were doing these different things. So you were going that way. But something came along and said, you can't have this one.
yeah,
I'm going to turn her back this way because
yeah,
it's time for. See, that's very spiritual. That's something beyond our control, beyond our understanding that got hold of you and said, you can't have this one because it's time for this to stop.
yeah.
Have you ever felt convicted like that in any kind of way?
Yes, yes, yes.
Let me ask this because you're thinking about it. Is it in the book?
huh? Is what?
Is the answer to his question in the book?
Um, Ask that question again. I gotta, cause that kind of.
Yeah. It's a thing where because you were going and following your mother's path, she was doing drugs, she was selling herself and doing this, and you were hanging out with your mom because you wanted to be accepted by your mother. But
Hmm.
at some point, something grabbed hold of you, had to be a powerful spirit and say, you can't have this one, and started pulling you in another direction to heal this craziness in your family. And the question was, did you ever feel a point where you just felt convicted, like something just hit you like bang?
Well, when I was out, cause I was out there in them streets at 12, so I prayed every night. If it wasn't, but our Father who art in heaven, how be thy name, thy kingdom. I said it every night, no matter where I was. And I've been to a lot of places out there as a young girl, getting beat. Just I've been to a lot of places, and I always said my prayers. So I believe God pulled me out of that because let me tell you, the church that I got free from, I went in there when I went in that church for the first time with my kids. We was homeless, and I had the crack in my pocket and the pipe. waiting to get out of church. But God saw my heart that I didn't want to be like. I refused to be like my mother. I refused to treat my children like, even my son, that middle one. He went through hell with me because I couldn't stand him. He was like a mini me. You say left, he go the other way, and we the same size. The same sign. His birthday's like 5 days after my birthday. He was just like me. So he portrayed something that I didn't want to look at, and that was myself. You know, but I did not let him be taken up out of this world without apologizing, because one day that little like you said, that little thing hit my head, and I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm actually just as bad as my mother, the way that I treat you, and I said, but I'm sorry. Forgive me, son. Forgive me. Let's start over. I don't he was like he might have been 18 years old. This is before he got, of course, before he got, because he was 23 when
I'm
he got
glad you were able to. Something is.
Yeah,
I
I,
hear
I did that
myself.
because I didn't want. I thank
Hold on,
God I did that, because I would have been falling all over his casket.
it's feedback. A little bit. It went away. I'm happy that you was able to apologize to him and get on the right track, because some people don't never get that opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. Like my mother. My mother died in my apartment. Um, I'm gonna say this about this, and then I'm gonna just, let's celebrate the movie coming out. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The series, because it's gonna be a series. Um, my mother had rejected me and all of that. My mother had caught cancer, and her and my sister need to stay with me, because I've always been the strong one, because I didn't go back to the drugs or nothing like that. And her and my sister always teamed up with me, so they were living in my house, and it was like you can feel it when you come in. It was me over here and both of them over there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to help them. So they had did this little scandalous little thing, because I was taking care of my mother. I stopped my life. I was getting paid to take care of her from the little place or whatever. I stopped everything I was doing to take care of her. And they creeped and went to Hawaii to see my brother, and they were planning to move out of my house without telling me. So they stopped my income. They did everything. They came back. I said, "Get your motherfucking asses out of my house." I said, "Get your," because I did not pray for you to come here. I just let them come. Oh, y'all can come here, Captain Saberco. So they moved out or whatever, and about I was getting my stuff together. I was getting everything caught up and getting my stuff together in my place. And like a month later, I got a phone call from my aunt, and she said, "Your mom got cancer. Cancer came back." I said, "Oh, call her daughter. Tell her daughter to handle that." I did what I was supposed to do for treatments. I sat in this woman treatment for 5 hours. I don't know. I don't remember how many times. I think we went 2 times a week or 3 times or something. But I sat in her appointments with her, um, and I went through the whole thing with her.
I
So
listen.
her cancer came back with a vengeance. And so my aunt called me. I said, "Well, what I didn't do with them before, I'll do now. I'll pray, because I really don't feel like even dealing with them no more. I done got the devil out of my house." And so I prayed about it. And of course, I'm going to be the bigger person. I went up there, and the doctors was hitting me up. They were like, "Well, we don't know what's going on with your mom," because my mama told them my brain, she called me her brains, because didn't none of them other people know what all of, my sister didn't know all her stuff was going. I knew every medication. I knew everything about every illness that she had. So when I came there, I said, "Well, if you have any questions, you can call me or whatever," to the doctor. I explained to them. And so I went on home, and my sister had her put in the home. So my sister was waiting for that check to come.
Right.
She's waiting for that insurance check.
Mhm.
So I said, "Okay, well, I'm going home." Me and my sister had almost had a fight up there or whatever. And then she moved to the home or whatever. They put her in the home, and the home was one of the places where you can't go to the doctor. You just got to sit there and die. One of those kind of homes. And so,
Hospice.
yeah, hospice. And so my friend was like, let's go see your mom. Let's go see her. So I was like, so I went in there. I mean, they had diarrhea going down the hallway. I said, what the fuck y'all got my mama in? You know, because at the end of the day, that's my mama. You know, I'll do anything for her. You know what I'm saying? Anything. And so I went in there, and the girl who they changed me as her person who to take care of her. I said, I ought to beat your ass. I said, because first of all, you don't know nothing. You should have been trying to find out from her doctors all of her elements, everything that she's sick. You supposed to tell that to the doctor since she hired you. And so I went up to the nursing station. I said, give me what I need to take my mama to my house. So they called hospice and stuff. They brought everything. I let her come to my house. Um, and I told her, don't you die in my house now. You know, she had to sleep in my bed before they got her bed there. So I got her up out of that home. I put her in my house with me. She had to sleep with me for like 3 days. And those 3 days, my mother didn't have the will or the heart to say I'm sorry. But she said little stuff. She said little stuff. And she'd be like, why do your sister always want my money? And I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. That's on y'all. That's up to y'all. You know, that's y'all business. I don't know. But you here because I love you. You know what I'm saying? So she lasted in my house 20 days. And that 20 days, this is one of the hardest things.
Take your time. Take your time
What
with
I
it.
did is I would turn her TV on the gospel channel and let it play real low. I bought candles around my house. You know, it was just peaceful. It was peaceful. And so the day finally happened. I called my pastor. I was like, she keep boo booing. I'm tired. I'm tired. So me and my sister had went to church that night. We came back and she did this boo boo that was just outrageous. I mean, she was playing in it, and I was like, oh Lord, I'm trying to whoop your ass.
Mm.
I said, you need to. And she
Mm.
was like, I'm sorry, Stephanie. She said, you all I need. You are, because I kept her clean. I made sure she was good,
Mm.
and nobody would come over there and help me, but my kids. So my sister and brother came over one day and they was like, let's sit in here and talk. And they was like, well, mama don't want you to have nothing from her will. I said, that ain't why she here. She's here because that's my mama.
Mm. Mm.
And I don't give a damn about no money because God got me. So the what's it called? The priest from the hospice place came over. And I mean, I probably had black circles all the way down to here.
Mm.
I mean, I was just toe up. And she said, Stephanie, I just fell on her and started crying. I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired. And I told her what was going on. She said, that's usually when they get ready to go.
Mm.
So she said, let's go pray for her. So we sitting in her room, and the chapel lady was reading scriptures, and she started praying, and I don't know what came over me. And I put my hands over her head, top of her head, and I just said, I plead the blood of Jesus over my mama. Devil, you can't have her, because she was squirming. I mean, you could tell she was in so much pain that cancer was eating her up. And she was squirming all over the bed and doing all this and that. And I started praying for her. I ran in my room and I got my oil and I put my oil all on her. And I tell you, the lady said, Stephanie. She said, look at her. She stopped. She just stopped.
Mm.
She said, you are powerful. You are powerful. Look. I said, the devil can't have this one.
Mm.
He thought he had her, but he can't have her. He can't have her. I stand. What did I say? I stand in a gap for my mother right now, in
Mm.
Jesus' name. You cannot have her, Satan. And that was the night she passed away, and I don't want to go into the rest of it.
And
But yeah,
you know what's interesting about that is I just said a minute ago, because you probably saved your mother's soul, right? And
No.
I just said a minute ago how something had to save you first. in order for you to probably save your mother at the end of her life.
But it don't work like that.
I mean, it's possible. E.
No, it's
Look
not.
what happened.
But the
No,
thing about that is I loved her.
people, but you can't save somebody's soul for them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't work like that.
What made me pray for her and do what I did for her is because I loved her. I never not loved her. I just knew that at a certain point I didn't have to
She probably
sacrifice.
most definitely needed to hear that.
I didn't have to sacrifice myself for her anymore. I didn't have to do that. I have to do that. And I still probably had that problem growing. I mean, even out of that age, I'm a shopper. I got like a boutique and it's all the storage, and I give people. I'm always giving. And honestly, I think that came from me trying to buy friendships from people because I'm such a loner. I'm such a learner, wanting people to like me, But I've came to the point I don't care no more.
Yeah.
EsessionByEnicole, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, E.
Where'd she go? There you go, E. Oh, there you go.
She
Okay.
feeling me.
Yeah. God's girl, before we get out of here, I do want to say to you, I'm a filmmaker, as you know.
Yeah.
Your book is being made into a film or a series and so forth. And people always say, I'm pretty sure you've heard this expression all the time. The book was better than the movie. Okay, and the movie is not as good as the book, and blah blah blah. You always get this, right? So, how involved are you with the script writing process?
Well, right now, I wrote it. I was gonna do a play, so I wrote 12 scenes for a play. I mean, I'm especially when I'm under like I'm doing a what is it called? Mark, what's it called? The trailer? What's the trailer called?
Is it trailer on YouTube?
The trailer for the film concept. Oh, cinematic trailer. Because I have to produce that when I go to LA. So I have my guy, he's doing it for me, but I wrote down the plan really, and right now he's fixing it so that they can go to film. So I will take that cinematic trailer down there with everything else I have to so that they can submit it to the different, Netflix and all the different
different distributors and things
yeah,
like that. So
yeah.
you're gonna find that when you're writing a book, it's just you, but when you turn it into a film or television, or it's gonna pass through so many hands,
Yeah.
on the way,
Well,
that
I'm definitely
people.
gonna send it to you and EsessionByEnicole because I want to get you guys' opinion about my trailer because I
Right.
got a bad. See, I used to be in a hair magazine, and my guy from who did the photo shoot, he's doing the cinematic trailer right now. So we're working on it right now. Have it done by the end of the month so I can go to LA.
But we gonna support. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Guys, this is God's girl here. Her information's in the description. EsessionByEnicole has it there for you guys. Her Cash App, contact information, everything's there. Get her book. You better get it now because it's about to turn into a film in
So
a
you guys,
series.
one thing about the book again, like I told you, is not in the stores, but I'm going to you put your description in the
Your email.
in your your email in there, and I'll send it right over to you. As I get it, I'll send it to you. As I get it, I'll send it to you. And I have another little project and that I did from Bondage to Beauty. I gave it to Miss EsessionByEnicole. If you guys are interested in that, you can just give me $5 for that read because it's only a little thing. But
And you know,
it's definitely a good book, you guys. I'm trying to let you know. Get ahead of it before the movie come out, so you'll know the real story.
we got to have you back once the movie's done. So
Oh
you
yeah,
definitely got to be back here for that. EsessionByEnicole, you have anything in closing?
yeah. Because EsessionByEnicole finna sing my song for the movie. Yes. I'm just playing.
Now I'm here for it.
You here for it?
Like I said earlier on this channel, we've talked about dysfunctional silence a lot. So, like I said, I commend you for everything that I said. You know what I'm saying? I said everything I meant. This was really heavier than I thought it was gonna be. I didn't have like no expectations or anything like that, but it's important. And usually the important stuff is heavy. You know what I mean? I commend you for not letting what happened to you turn you into another possibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and the question that I asked you, my petty question, is you showed me the other side when you was talking about your mom. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't treat you very well. Y'all didn't have a good relationship, but you were still there. That's why I wanted to know, was there any hope of, once this come out? Now, of course, their intentions won't be right, but is there a chance for reconciliation? Because at the end of the day, all we do have is family. And I do believe that it's never too late to change, but you also do have a right to draw your own boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like,
one thing about me is I'm not fake, so I'm not gonna fake it with nobody. I
Yeah.
don't care who you are, and I'm not gonna sit in people's face that I know don't care about me. I'm protecting me. At this point, I'm old enough, and I've been through enough to definitely protect myself. And if that's not
one thing we have to learn to stop normalizing. I had this conversation just yesterday. We have to learn to stop normalizing. Well, that's still your cousin. Well, that's still your brother. Well, that's still your sister. Toxic is toxic. And if they got to go, they got to go. I don't give a damn who they are. You don't have the right to come into my life and destroy my life because you think I love you or you love me or whatever case may be. And I'm supposed to allow you to do that because we blood related?
And it is okay to forgive and move on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've done that. And I used to always be the one to go back and say, well, let me try it again. And then I get hurt. So I'm done with hurting myself.
And that is especially true for family. It's like, the ones closer to you hurt you the most. But like I said, I commend you. I'm so happy that I'm here to support. Y'all know how I feel about the support over here. I don't care if it's on your nerves. We're gonna always talk about it because we don't have enough support. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the people that support the most that get the least support, and that shit just don't make sense. So we gotta start supporting. God's Girl World is not no stranger to the YouTube streets. So I'm gonna need the support to stop being a stranger as well.
I've been here since the beginning. I've been here for a lot of these new people. All these people.
You've been here before me, baby, because I just got here myself. I just bust through the door myself. I'm always late to the party. So
me and Auntie Fee used to be like this. we used to
love Auntie Fee.
Thick as thieves, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I make sure y'all subscribe to Auntie Fee too. A lot of content creators came in here. Auntie Fee, Just My Fab in here, Daquan. I'm not sure who Love Podcast Reacts is, but just get at me on IG. Like we said, all Guys Girl World information is in the description. I also urge you guys to go over there and subscribe and participate.
Yeah, I'm like 300 and something away from my 1,000, but it's taking me forever to get. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care.
Well, on the replay,
it will happen naturally.
The people on the replay, go on head over there and subscribe to God's Girl World, okay? Because don't be trying to act like y'all was with her shooting in the gym when this series come out.
Right.
We can talk about say that to Facebook because those gonna be the ones because I haven't seen nobody, and I got 7 pages over there, so I got a huge following over there. So they're gonna be the ones that's gonna try to run up.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Oh no, I just said them gonna be the ones that's gonna be running up, and I'm gonna be like, hi, bye.
I just want to close with we got to stop the dysfunctional silent shit. We have to.
Yes.
It's not doing us any justice. It's not doing the kids any justice. It's not doing your possible mate any justice, your friends, anybody that comes in contact with an unhealed Jew. It's just not fair. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the work on yourself. And that means you got to be honest with yourself. So And it's not pretty. If you be all the way honest with yourself, it's not always pretty all the time. But that's the only way you can get where you want to be if you want to be there. If you don't want to be there, I ain't talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite saying is you can't heal from what you're not willing to face.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just really thank you for coming through the old school versus new school. Like Alex said, we definitely want to have you back when the series starts. And you guys, I thank you guys for coming through. And I guess we'll see y'all next Monday.
Next Monday is the place.
Next Monday. I don't have no memberships no more, but I'm gonna go on and get one over here because this is sponsorship.
Come on over to the Galaxy.
That's why I wasn't doing the memberships no more because those people don't support me.
Yes, get your citizenship. Yes. Galaxy.
Definitely.
But you guys are seeing a lot of Guys Girl World over here because we got some things we gonna do.
Yes.
We love you guys.
Here she go with another show. Like that.
Yeah.
We love our members. We love our chat.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all later.
I feel free a little. Thank you, Jesus.
That's good. Right. That's good. We'll see y'all later.
All right.
Welcome to my galaxy. Welcome to my galaxy. This is EsessionByEnicole. You can always call me E, but don't never call me Nicole. Your presence is appreciated. Please be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe. It's always a vibe. In my galaxy.
Hey, it's Sean Dufresne from Ready to Love, and you are watching my girl, TheeEnicole.
Tasha Lyons telling you to tune into TheeEnicole.
This is Samson from Ready to Love, and you're tuned into TheeEnicole.
It's Winter from Love America DC, and you're tuned in to TheeEnicole.
Make sure you guys subscribe to TheeEnicole. She is amazing. Click that button, subscribe, and you are going to enjoy all the information that she's going to share.
So come on over and tune in